Welcome back to the Daily Wrap. Well, Hillary Clinton may have more company in the so-called fight for the Democratic nomination. Sources tell Politico that former Rhode Island Governor Lincoln Chafee, wow, look at that, will make his candidacy official next week. And former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley is expected to announce this weekend. Vermont's independent Senator Bernie Sanders announced his candidacy earlier this month, and apparently he's connecting with a key voting bloc, seniors.
Your time is over for avoiding taxes. You're going to have to start paying your fair share of taxes.
You know, you don't see the bullhorn very much anymore, you know? Bush,
weak voice, you know?
I guess so. And that one, of course, was a 73-year-old Sanders at a campaign event in Vermont this week. We all know seniors vote. Could they be Bernie Sanders' secret weapon, Mr. Unger?
Well, you know, seniors do vote. They're probably the most reliable voting bloc. Will they be his secret weapon? I don't think so. I know he made a very good impression on the crowd up there, but Vermonters like Bernie. I mean, I like Bernie Sanders. He's a very likable guy.
Let me condense the question. Could he give Hillary Clinton any problem in New Hampshire?
No. A problem maybe, because it's how we interpret the results. Right. He's certainly not going to beat her, but you can get to a percentage where people go, oh, wait a second, how do you get so close?
24% kind of thing.
Yeah,
sure.
So you never know, but he's not, none of them are serious.
John Fund?
I find it interesting the Democratic Party has now gotten to the point where it not only has a prohibitive front runner, but the two of the three candidates challenging her that have any substance are actually independents, Lincoln Chafee and Bernie Sanders.
Good point.
I mean, this party has basically mortgaged itself to the Clintons. And, you know, it's an interesting bet, and it might play out, but it might not.
Jonathan?
Now, that was a firm stand.
Yes.
You know what I think.
I do know what you think.
Jonathan, what do you think of Bernie Sanders as far as just a candidate? I mean, at least in terms of, he shares something very much in common with you, in that you are unfiltered and you're impossibly candid. That's why we have you on the show often.
Yeah, that's right.
And Bernie Sanders, you may disagree with his policy, but he seemed to be a very principled guy. I mean, that's something to at least admire.
You're also a socialist, aren't you?
Yeah, polar opposite of that. And that's what scares me about Bernie Sanders, is that everybody that you talk to likes him. He is well-spoken, but it's what he believes in, to me, that's dangerous. And I think, you know, that's the hard part about politics. And when he's, you know, talking to senior citizens and he has a specific group that he talks to, it's very important that they listen to what he's saying, because he may be likable, he may be well-spoken, but what's he really saying? And that's the problem that I have with Bernie Sanders, is that I don't agree with what he has to say, regardless of how well he's saying it.
I had a feeling he wouldn't agree with what he has to say.
We're shocked and stunned.
I know.
New Jersey Governor Christie is expected to announce his 2016 intentions sometime next month, and he's making headlines after announcing plans to dump the controversial Common Core standardized testing.
This guy right here, I had lunch with him, and the thing that impressed me the most.
It's now been 5 years since Common Core was adopted, and the truth is that it's simply not working. It's brought confusion and frustration to parents. I've heard it every day. It's brought distance between our teachers and the communities where they work.
And Christie's comments are in stark contrast with Jeb Bush, who's a supporter of the test. Many conservatives have trashed Common Core, arguing the federal government shouldn't be dictating standards to the states. Will this move by Christie score him some points with the conservative base of the party?
Well, that's certainly his intention. That's why he's suddenly saying this. Look, I don't know the statistics in New Jersey. I don't know if Common Core, which he supported, by the way, a couple of years ago, I don't know if it's been good or bad for the state. It's obviously highly suspect that suddenly he's had this conversion.
Are you a Common Core fan, Mr. Fund?
Common Core was sold as having been designed at the local level of the states. If you actually look at it, it comes out of the federal bureaucracy. So I think it's been misrepresented. I think we have to go back to the drawing board. I'm in favor of some form of national standards, but the one-size-fits-all of Common Core, I think, limits innovation, doesn't enhance it.
Jonathan?
I agree with that, and I have a sister that homeschooled 2 kids. They turned out amazing. I mean, amazingly smart and bright. And I think if she can do that, I don't understand why they can't come up with something that's a little bit more on a national scale, that it's accepted and actually doesn't go and reinvent the whole wheel, which Common Core did. And I think it became, as John was saying, too much of a political ball game for people to use. Support, not support. It's about education, but yet they've made it about running for president.
Yeah, it's complicated to understand the system alone, and how do you expect kids to actually then absorb all of that. And finally, 2016 hopeful Marco Rubio has the endorsement of reality TV star Rick Harrison of Pawn Stars fame.
This guy right here, I had lunch with him, and the thing that impressed me the most, this guy never said one thing. He never said for the party, the party, the party. A lot of politicians do that. This guy honestly cares about people.
He does look like Billy Joel, kinda. Anyway, Harrison hosted a private fundraiser in Las Vegas yesterday for Rubio's 44th birthday. Welcome to the club, Marco. A little celebrity endorsement can't hurt, can it, Rick Hunker?
Not that one.
Okay.
That'll help him.
John?
Anything that ties a candidate to popular culture makes him appear more human.
Okay.
Great haircut, by the way.
Indeed. By the way, it's Pawn Stars, just for everybody at home. Anyway, more potluck coming up. Stay right there.